cannot complain, Anees, because you've in the past 5 months have put out a myriad of songs as an independent artist during the times of COVID when everybody is just trying to keep it together, right? One day at a time. You've just been producing and producing
Right?
and producing. And now you've got this new song, What Lovers Do. How does it feel?
Too long. As an artist, you always say you're gonna be so consistent. You're gonna drop a song every 3 weeks. You're gonna be, through the summer, you're gonna drop 6, 7 songs. But it didn't work out that way this summer, and so it feels super, super, super good to start the fall off strong, and just
Mm-hmm.
drop a song that I really believe in. Like I really, really, really believe in this song. Like I was listening to it yesterday as I was driving. I was like, man, this is a hit.
Yes, it is. You have been consistent. I think you should, give yourself a little credit. You have put out
Maybe.
4 singles in the past 5 months. You've
Yeah.
created videos for all of those singles. You've since performed live. So I want you to talk to
Yeah.
me about that, about what that felt like finally being able as an independent artist to get out there and be on stage with other musicians. Um,
Hmm.
and you performed, you kind of panhandled. I saw you sitting at a round table at a random spot, like a little pop-up performance, and people were
That was
just
in and
giving you love.
out.
Talk to me about
Yeah.
that.
I mean, look, consistency is like in the eye of the beholder. Of course, at the end of the day, my goal is always just to give people art that they can feel and not to worry about like the numbers of the streams or the how many I put out a year or you know the numbers. I like to just make it a feeling thing. But for me, I have big ambitions, so that's why like it was important for me to get out there and perform live. We went to Music Fest in like a smaller area, not a small
Hmm.
area, but a smaller area in Pennsylvania. It wasn't like Philly or Pittsburgh. It was like Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It was very
Yeah.
chill. It was a lot of people, but it was just a nice like um, first foray into that sort of concert environment. And then the round table you saw me at was actually an In and Out in California. And
Ha.
when I was visiting in LA, um, we just sort of figured, okay, where are the people at night, right? And we thought, okay, you're gonna go to West Hollywood, you're gonna find a ton of people. You're gonna go to North Hollywood, you're gonna find a ton of people. It's not really the case. I don't know if it's the pandemic or if it's just the time of year we were there, but like we were driving through like the hot parts of the city and we couldn't find anybody. So we're like, all right, where do we go? Where are people constantly at during the nighttime? And it was In and Out.
Now,
And so we posted up right at the drive through. We tried to like space it so like we weren't close enough to the speaker to be pissing off the employees,
sure.
but we also weren't too far from the cars to not be heard. And we were able to put together like, yeah, like a little pop-up concert for maybe like 500 people.
They were loving you. They were that must have felt euphoric. I mean, I can't speak for you.
Oh,
I wasn't there, but it just looked like they just were felt so connected. Because I think the song you performed at that time was Drunk on Myself. Which is just
yeah,
such an uplifting song in and of itself. So a song that I think that we all needed at that time. So what did that feel like for you receiving that love back finally, not in the digital space, but in person?
it's totally different. It's so different. It's so much more real. And I think it sort of connects with your soul a little bit more because the digital feedback is you kind of grow numb to it. You know, I post a lot on social media, so by virtue of how much I post, I get a lot of comments, and the comments are so beautiful. If you really read through them, they're really beautiful, but I don't feel them the same as when you're looking at someone, when you can see their eyes, you can understand they communicate with their eyes, joy, they communicate with their body language, comfort, they communicate with their facial expression, peace. Like to see those things, it's like a whole different level of communication. There's so much more texture to that feedback that as an artist, I was like, whoa, like this is what I
This is
really
it.
want. Like I
Right.
because and not only just that, like being able to not just receive feedback in lifetime, but to actually deliver art in lifetime. Not perfect, not my fifth take, the one that was right in,
Ooh.
the one that and still for them, despite the imperfection of, oh man, I ran out of breath there, or oh man, I didn't hit that note exactly, super clean. Like they're still vibing with it because they feel it. It's not about an ears thing; it's a heart thing.
Right.
Thank
Now,
you.
what lovers do? Sounds like you're talking about hanky panky.
Hey, listen, who knows? Who knows? It's open to interpretation.
So
You know,
what's the inspiration behind the song? And I know a lot of times, which I love about you, it's usually about your wife. Is this another song
right,
about your wife?
right. So here's the thing with this song and with every song I give, I'm always trying to toe the balance between how on the nose do you want to be and how subtle do you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the beginning of my career, I felt I was very on the nose. I didn't leave anything to interpretation. It was very like wordy. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think in 4 different ways. And the more that I'm growing into myself as an artist, the more I realize like it's nice to leave room for interpretation. This song could absolutely be about intimate things for someone who, if they want it to be. And I will never try to. I'd say guide how
Oh,
someone. It, but I also think this song could just be about like loving someone and not being sure if that love is requited and sort of pining for someone in your heart. I know what that feels like to love someone for a lengthy period of time, years even, and to not really know is this ever going to be mutual, and then just to
mm,
and you're waiting, like give me that green light, whether it's that green light to make my move um, in a romantic sense, the green light to
sure.
make my move in a like ask you out, green light to make that move like, hey, let me get down on my knee and propose, the green light to really just make your move, I guess I would say. um to me, I feel like
Yo,
the song kind of channels that, like, no pun intended, but that green light energy of John Legend, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of what I felt this song could do.
that you know what's crazy that it's everybody interprets it differently because that was so deep right now what you just gave me. And to me, I felt like, okay, this is a sexy Anise. This is the sexy side of Anise that we haven't seen. As soon as I hear what lovers do, I'm thinking sex, right? Which
No,
is not a
100%.
bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's
No,
just interesting because to me, that's where my mind automatically went. And you're all like, yeah, but I don't know if the love is reciprocated, and I'm all like, oh
no.
shit.
No, but look, but listen. It could definitely be about sex for someone. At the end of the day, like for me, the way I look at art, um, I think if I can achieve, as an artist, the ability to give you a song that to one listener is like he's talking about sex. To another
Mm-hmm.
listener, it's like, oh, he's talking about romance. To another listener, it's like, oh, he's talking about unrequited love. Like if I can do that, to me, like that's my dream. Like at the end of the day, people can take it how they want, and
Right.
I'd like them to, because that way there's a broader audience for it. You know what I'm saying?
Hello,
Like
somebody.
if you're looking for that sexy song to slow dance in the club, I got you. But if you also want to listen to that song while you're driving down the highway and your heart's thumping and you're thinking, oh, will she ever love me back? Then go
Aww.
for it. You know?
So, okay, so since you said that, I'm assuming, and I don't like to assume because you know what happens when you assume, but that you wrote the song from a space of
Mm,
love that was not reciprocated. Is this part of your story? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
yeah. When I wrote this song, what I was thinking about is being a man who loves a woman and is wanting that woman to to say, hey, I'm into this like you're into it.
Sure.
um and it took a sexy tone to it because I think that it's fun, like it's fun to it's that's fun, that's romance, that's exciting, there's
Mm-hmm.
thrill in that.
Right.
It's more than a thrill, it's a whole different feel with you. Like I want, like there's I'll say this right now, as a man who's happily married and in love, and I'm not looking for any romance outside of what I've already got. But at the end of the day, I remember the thrill of the chase, and I remember how it makes it's a different high, it's a different feeling.
Sure.
And I just remember, like, you send that text, and this
And
is
you're like,
before the
ah,
days,
yeah,
yeah, like the dots come back, and you're like, oh, what the fuck is she gonna
yeah,
say? Like, and so
yeah,
I remember that boom, boom. I can even feel it right now, just
yeah.
thinking back. And I think, like, I wanted to put that in the song form. I wanted to give people that, like, the the sonic form of that, of the
Mm-hmm.
thrill that
The thrill of the chase. But I love that because now you've given me a different perspective, and now when I listen to it, I'm gonna feel something different, probably. Which so
100%
love
you
that.
are.
What's next for you? Are we putting out more singles? Are we doing some more
Yep.
live performances? What's going on?
All of the above. We've got some live performances lined up. I was actually Zach just my good friend Zach Matar, who we spoke about in the past.
Yes.
He just pulled up. He just pulled up from New Jersey. He's
Oh,
literally
since you mentioned Zach, does he do background vocals on that song for you? Because I heard some
no, he,
harmonizing on
oh
Spotify.
no, no, that's me. That's me.
That's
But
you.
that's me.
Okay.
But I cannot pretend that Zach did not help me sort of develop those harmonies. He's sort of the
Mm,
arranger. He's the one that's
got
like,
it.
yo, what right when I think it's good enough, he's like, no, 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 no. What if you threw that harmony? What if
Beautiful.
went up right here? And so sort of Zach gives more texture to the songs. The one for you, then you must let me come through so we can do what lovers do on the move. Me and you, just the two of us. Did it make your movie good? The song might to me sound perfect because I like that stripped back, um, sort of raw feel.
Sure.
But Zach is like a superstar. He's like a sonic visionary. So he's always like, just 1 second, try this
Yeah.
out.
But you know what?
And
I think both ways are beautiful. I think your stripped back versions are beautiful, but I think the harmonizing is beautiful as well. I think that's what you're a master at, is giving people so many different ways to consume the same song that
yeah,
you can't ever get tired of the song because you're like, I have so many options to choose from. So I think you're
hey,
great at
we
that.
love that. We love that. Well, the harmonies sort of give it that variability. So that is
Sure.
nice. But yeah, hey,
Hmm.
he and I are gonna do some. We're gonna get out there and actually do some shows at some colleges. We are we like linked up with like a booking agency, and so we're gonna be, God willing, starting to visit at least on the East Coast and like the Southeast, start hitting some schools. Like,
Yes. Now
so yeah,
listen, if you
that's
don't come to Texas, I'm gonna be really upset. Okay, but
it's
continue.
Dallas, right? It's
Yep,
Dallas, right?
yep. Don't do me dirty.
Hey,
Yes.
hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. While I've got you, and while you said Texas, let me add a whole nother level to this conversation we're having. Here's the kind of artist I am. I really don't care. I'll share it with you. We're in my analytics on Spotify right now, right? I don't know if you can
Okay.
even see this. Boom. Look at my third
Okay,
city.
Ben. Boom, baby, baby.
That's my third
That's
city.
awesome.
So you already know that if we got what 35,000 monthly listeners on in Dallas alone, come on, we can get 200 people to pull up to a show.
We're in there. Me and my friend. First of all,
In there.
me and
We're
all
in
the people
there
I
like
know,
swimwear.
like a wedgie. Okay, all
You
up
know
in
what it
there.
is.
Um. Okay, so we did speak. You skirted a little bit past it, so I want to go back to it just really quick. You hit that stage for the first time. Was that your
Mm,
first time ever on a stage performing your original music?
yeah, it was. It
What was
was.
that feeling like? Were you nervous? Were you overwhelmed? Was it exciting? So walk me through the moment that they announced your name and you walked on there.
Yeah. So we went. For some context, we were in LA the weekend before. So when we were in LA, I got to tell you, I gained a tremendous deal of confidence just because we were out there performing live. I mean, those were my first live performances in LA, not on a stage, but out there in front of strangers, pulling up anywhere and just singing my music and seeing people react to it. So I got to tell you, like by the time we got to Music Fest, my confidence was like peaking. I was
Mm,
there. And
awesome.
that being said, even still, the moment before we got on that stage, I was like, holy shit. Just because I was like, I better not forget these lyrics. I better not,
Right, right,
you
right.
know, run out of breath. I better not get ahead of myself. But what helped is as I was, because Zach sort of started the show and I didn't come in until the middle of the set. Um, and so while he was performing his first few songs, I stepped to the side for a little bit. And I just had a sort of moment with myself. And I was like, all right, you're about to go out there. Like I committed. I'm like, I'm ready. I'm comfortable. I'm confident to get on the stage. Um, but I had a moment with myself where I told myself, yo, you've been doing this for years. You know, you haven't been on the stage in front of real life humans who are looking you eye to eye. And that is a whole different experience. And I know that for sure now. But you've been doing this for years. You've been going on live and performing for hundreds of thousands of people at this point. Um, Treat it like that. Just do what you know. And so when I got on the stage, like that's kind of was my mentality, was like, you know, channel that same energy you give people on Instagram live, on TikTok live. Channel that same energy you give people when you're freestyling with them, when you're serenading them. And because I think I had that body of experience, then the edge kind of was off. Now, I wouldn't say I was perfect, and I definitely 1,000,000% like watched the footage afterwards and was like, I'm super self-critical. I was like, I got to do that
Of
better.
course.
I got to do this.
Yeah.
I got to do that better. But at the end of the day, it did feel natural, and that was like the ultimate success. Just to know, like, okay, I belong here, and um, this is what I'm meant to do. Like, I'm meant to be in front of people on the mic, communicating to them.
It made you
And
feel
so,
alive.
oh yeah, I mean, and it just gave me this like feeling of like, man, like this was fun, but I want more. You
Yes.
know, it's not enough. It's
Yes.
not enough. I think I'm always, unfortunately, going to feel that endless hunger of I want more. And
Hmm.
maybe at one point in my life, I'll gain the emotional maturity to know that, what I've got is enough. But at least on a live performance level, I'm still in the throes of I want more.
That
So,
was so powerful though, because I think you did what so many of us struggle to do. And that's whenever we're faced with imposter syndrome or feeling
mhm.
like we can't accomplish something, we forget to give ourselves the advice that we would give to somebody else. Like, you got this, you've done this is what you do. And if you haven't checked out the live performances, they're on his Instagram. It's at Anees the Rapper. Go check it out because it's good. That one, the in and out performances were all amazing.
And we
More
give it all to people.
before I let you go, I want you to tell me, or I want you to give me advice for people who are creating original music on their own, what that journey has been like for you, what the most important thing to keep in mind moving
Mm.
forward is as you go through that journey.
Yeah, definitely. People have asked me that on Instagram Live. They'll say, "Hey, how did you have the courage to put your stuff out there? How did you get over the fear of being judged?" Um, and I think the answer to that question lies in the perspective that you take to art. If you're evaluating your art based on how other people are going to react to it, then you're perpetually going to be in a place of fear, right? Because you're always going to be um, allowing other people to determine the worth of what you've created.
Mm,
That's out of your control. That's scary, right? But if instead you look at your art as something where it's like, okay, I'm going to create something I'm proud of, not because I want it to get likes, not because I want it to get shares, not because I want to get comments. I'm just going to create something I'm proud of that I genuinely can stand behind. That if someone were to watch it in front of me, I'm not going to cringe because I'm proud of it, right? And then no matter what it does online, it could get zero streams. It could get ridiculed by the whole world, but you would know, like, no, I'm proud of this, right? The biggest mistake you can make is to try to contour your art for the feedback, for the reception, for the algorithm, because then if it doesn't succeed, not only did it not succeed, but you never believed in your art. You know what I'm saying? So I think
mm.
if you decide to believe in your art, it doesn't matter. Like, really, like this is a success the moment I posted it. Whatever follows from that is just cake. You know what I'm saying? Whatever follows from that is just cherry on top.
It's extra.
So yeah, you got to let your evaluation of your art be determined internally. And of course it matters how other people enjoy and interact with your art, but that's their experience with your art, not your experience with your art. And
Right.
it really matters, I think, to separate those two, because when other people's experience with your art starts to bleed into your own view on your own art, you're never gonna you will never have peace in your creative
Right,
process.
right. That's amazing advice. And I just want to remind everybody, this is a former lawyer, dropped the career, turned independent artist. So, and succeeded smack dab
I'm
in
a
the middle of a
I'm
pandemic.
a I'm
Huh.
a recovering sheep. I was following the path, and now
Right.
I feel liberated and free, and life is
Good.
good.
Good for you.
And I art, and I don't want to go to sleep, and I love waking up. And yeah, life is good, but it's something that you know I think everybody in their own way can have. I'm
Yes.
very privileged to be able to live this life of just pursuing this full time. That's not something everybody can do, like on a real life, dollars and cents
Sure.
level. But everybody can find in their own life ways to work towards purpose, whether it's something you do when you get home, something you do in your job, something you do with your children, with your family. And for me, it's with my art. And I just hope that I just think that if the whole world found ways to do that, we would suffer from a lot less anxiety, a lot less
Yes.
depression, a lot less cognitive dissonance between what am I doing and what is my purpose in life.
Ooh. So let me ask you this. You wake up every day feeling rewarded, feeling fulfilled because you're doing what you love.
I'm more so than anything, I just feel hungry when I wake up. I'm hungry and excited. Like I look at this art and this career as an artist as sort of like a game. And every day I'm playing my favorite game. It's like when you were a kid and you would play a game. Like for me, it was like playing Super Mario, and like you didn't want to go to sleep, but your parents made you go to sleep because you had school the next day. But then you got back from school and you were so damn excited to pick up the sticks and try to get to that next level, right?
Right.
That's my that's my life. Like
Dang.
every day I'm playing the game that I love, and I don't want to go to sleep because it's like I want to get to the next level, but I have to. And then when I wake up, it's right back to it. And
Right.
don't get me wrong, like I have to take days off, and
Of course.
things happen. You go to weddings, you have family events, you have holidays. There's reasons to take breaks, but man, like I really am thrilled by my life.
I love that. Thank you. Yes, you better leave us on a positive note. Thank you so much, Anees. I just can't wait to continue to see how your career
Hey,
continues to develop and evolve. And I'm gonna be right here, front row seat. And when you come to Dallas, you better call me.
hey, that's a guarantee. That's hey, out of all those 33,072 people, I know who the first one is.
Yes! Y'all heard it here first, folks. What Lovers Do out right now on all digital platforms. Thank you, Anees.
Lovers do on the move, me and you, just the two of us. Baby, make your move, be